All right, let's dive right into this. Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating, battle-tested figure in the cybersecurity world. We're going to be looking at the media kit and professional portfolio of Alberto Daniel Hill. He's widely known as the Digital Knight of Latin America, and we're going to systematically analyze his credentials, his exact methodology, and his undeniable impact on regional cybersecurity.
So here's our game plan for today's Explainer. We'll cover the LatAm Digital Knight, check out his credentials and certifications, look at how he defeats institutional silence, his zero-error predictions, his psychological profile, and finally, his global influence.
Section 1. The LatAm Digital Knight.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that Alberto Daniel Hill is definitely not your typical corporate threat analyst just sitting in a quiet cubicle. Actually, back in 2014, while he was just trying to help his girlfriend book a medical appointment online, he stumbled onto a critical vulnerability in a medical provider's website. He followed standard responsible disclosure protocols, but because he was dealing with the legal system totally unprepared for cyber nuances, he was wrongfully prosecuted. He actually became the first person ever imprisoned in Uruguay for a computer-related crime, and he served 8 months. But instead of breaking him, this trauma sparked what he calls post-traumatic growth. He turned his whole case into a massive catalyst for legal reform across Latin America.
That whole ordeal basically birthed this incredibly unique professional identity, the digital dissident. You know, when institutions try to minimize breaches, which is a tactic that leaves everyday citizens completely vulnerable, Hill steps in. He acts as a CERT psicológico, or a psychological computer emergency response team. He is essentially out there winning this asymmetric digital and psychological warfare against government overreach by just handing the public the radical, verifiable technical truth. And this matters immensely, because when data gets stolen, the public is left exposed.
Moving right along to Section 2, Credentials, Education, and Certifications.
His advocacy isn't just talk. It is backed up by a rock-solid technical foundation. We're talking over 20 years of hands-on information security experience. That includes high-level government audits and digital forensics with Interpol. Educationally, the guy has a computer engineering degree and a master's in digital currencies from the University of Nicosia. His certifications are top tier too. PMP, Certified Ethical Hacker, and he's a platinum member for his CSX Fundamentals from ISACA. Fun fact, he was actually Uruguay's very first expert witness in a cyber law case way back in 2004.
And he's not stuck in legacy tech either. He's highly adaptable, he seamlessly transitioned into Web3, advising on initial coin offerings and NFT projects, and he even founded cryptocurrency services. He contributes to OWASP, and his deep system-level understanding comes from literally reverse engineering computers since he was a kid. He's just a multifaceted technical powerhouse.
Section 3. Defeating the Protocol of Silence.
So, Hill has developed this really fascinating professional critique of what he calls systemic institutional secretism. Basically, this protocol of silence involves minimizing the narrative, delaying disclosure, and siloing information, all just to protect an institution's reputation. Hill's countermethod? Radical transparency. He intercepts underground hacktivist noise and translates it into open threat intelligence and live forensic validation for the public. Now, we aren't taking sides on the politics of this, but it's crucial to analyze how Hill successfully bridges this information gap so ordinary citizens aren't left in the dark during major crises.
And this brilliantly illustrates his exact methodology for identifying national cybersecurity failures. Step 1. A major attack happens. Step 2. The institutions deploy their protocol of silence. Step 3. This silence widens what security expert Bruce Schneier calls the security gap. All the risk gets offloaded on everyday citizens who can't protect themselves because they don't even know their data was stolen. Step 4. Hill jumps in. He acts as the safety net with live public forensics to close that gap and report the truth.
On to Section 4, Zero-Error Threat Prediction Methodology.
Now, let's look at his track record, because as a live threat analyst, it's pretty undeniable. October 2025, the official narrative claims a minor IT incident at the Uruguayan BHU Bank. Hill publicly warns, nope, that's a catastrophic ransomware attack. And sure enough, it was later confirmed to be a 700-gigabyte data theft. Then, early March 2026, he issues a highly specific threat flash about the Cronus Mafia targeting Argentine government institutions.
So the crucial point here is this staggering metric. 8 million. On March 30th, 2026, exactly like Hill predicted, the Cronus Group dumped over 8 million highly sensitive Argentinian records from 28 different agencies. His thesis was completely validated.
Because of major milestones exactly like that,
Hill maintains an estimated 90 to 100% accuracy score on his high-visibility public forecasts. In the Latin American cyber community, when official channels go completely dark, Hill's verified hit rate makes him the absolute primary source of truth.
You might be wondering, how does he actually do this? Well, he isn't just issuing vague warnings. He monitors cyber underground audio directly and hosts real-time X spaces. He intercepts data straight from threat actors to issue these highly specific threat intelligence flashes. He names the actors, the targets, the timelines, and the scale of the attacks way before they ever hit the mainstream news.
Section 5. Psychological Profile and Global Ranking. If you look at his psychological profile, a very clear picture emerges. He is an incredibly resilient, mission-driven watchdog. Yes, his past trauma makes him hyper-vigilant against cover-ups, but it's paired with a genuine reformer's optimism. He operates with high integrity and consistent ethics. He's an authentic insider who leverages his own lived experience to protect citizens. He doesn't just talk about transparency, he literally lives the fight for it.
So where does he rank globally in his field? Well, worldwide, he's a solid mid-tier technical contributor. He might not be a household name everywhere just yet, but in the Latin American ecosystem, the guy is an absolute pioneer. He's a force multiplier and a rock star niche powerhouse who is democratizing knowledge for an entire region.
Let's move to Section 6, Publications, Stages, and Influence.
Let's see how this all builds his thought leadership, because it is extensively documented. He's been featured internationally in major industry publications. We're talking Digital Forensics Magazine, Computer Forensics Magazine, Hacking 9, and he even authored his own comprehensive book, Login to Hell, which meticulously details his whole journey from responsible disclosure to wrongful imprisonment.
His media reach is just massive. He provides expert commentary for huge outlets like Cointelegraph. His story was immortalized on Darknet Diaries episode 25, which reached a huge global audience. And he commands a loyal following of over 47,000 users on X. He's really become a central hub for the digital rights community.
Plus, he's a highly sought-after speaker for the Congress circuit. He was a featured speaker at the prestigious ISC2 LATAM Security Congress, giving keynotes on the intersection of cybercrime, law, and crypto. Today, he's continuing to host those live validation hubs on X Spaces, effectively presenting himself as the ultimate bridge between the underground and public defense.
I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to consider. When the next massive data breach hits your region, are your institutions prepared for radical transparency, or are they just going to hide behind the protocol of silence? Alberto Daniel Hill has proven time and time again that silence really only helps the attackers. Whether you need a keynote speaker, a consultant, or a top-tier threat intelligence analyst, his unique blend of trauma-forged resilience and undeniable technical precision makes him an absolutely essential guide in our dangerously opaque digital future. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking the hard questions, and I'll see you next time.